Hello everyone, welcome to the virtual class of standard costing. In previous lecture, I have discussed one practical question of variable overheads. Today, I would like to discuss one more question on same line of calculation, that is variable overheads variances. Before understanding the solution of the question, let us understand the question first. Calculate variable overhead cost variance, variable overhead rate variance, and variable overhead efficiency variance. In this question, the examiner has provided information to us in descriptive or you can say statement form. Budgeted production 400 units, budgeted variable overheads rupees 8,000, standard time to produce 1 unit 20 hours, actual production 380 units, actual hours 7,500 and actual variable overheads rupees 8,400. In previous question, all these information were given to us in a systematic form and it was given in a tabulated form. But here it is given to us in descriptive or you can say statement form. It is a little bit confusing to solve these kind of question from this information. So before starting the solution, it is necessary for us to convert these data into tabular format. Once you convert everything into tabular format, the question will be familiar to you like this. Output 400 units budgeted, actual 380 units. It is nothing more than systematic arrangement. Budgeted production 400 units. It is given to us over here as a 400 units. Actual production 380 units. We have converted this item into tabulated format 380 units. Budgeted variable overheads are given as rupees 8,000. That we have shifted to the table on budgeted data part. While actual overheads are given as rupees 8,400 that we have inserted over here. Same way, standard time to produce 1 unit, it's a 20 hours. So in a budgeted data, we have mentioned that we need 20 hours to produce 1 unit of output. And total time taken by us for the production is 7,500 hours. So in this way, we need to convert our statements into tabulated form. So as it's very easy for us to answer all the questions carefully. Now move to the most important part of our solution. It is all about calculation of budgeted rate. As you all know that we can calculate our budgeted rate using two different expressions. Budgeted rate per unit of output and budgeted rate per hour. So based on output and based on time, we can easily calculate budgeted rate. Budgeted rate per unit. Formula: budgeted variable overheads divided by budgeted output. 8,000 rupees given by the examiner to us as the budgeted variable overheads divided by 400 units budgeted output. So budgeted rate per unit is rupees 20. Budgeted rate per hour. Second way of expression, budgeted rate per hour. Formula: budgeted variable overheads divided by budgeted hours. Rupees 8,000 given as budgeted variable overheads by the examiner in a clear-cut form. Budgeted hours 8,000. In total that we need to calculate. You can check your question. The examiner has provided information to us that we are in need of 20 hours per unit and our budgeted production is 400 units. So 400 units multiplied by 20 hours. So total 8,000 hours. In this way, we need to calculate total budgeted hours for the solution of the budgeted rate per hour. It is rupees 1 per hour. Third, calculation of actual rate per hour. Formula: actual variable overheads divided by actual hours. You can check your question. Information related to actual variable overheads are given by the examiner in a ready-made form. It is rupees 8,400. And actual working hours are also given in the question in clear-cut form, 7,500 hours. So it is rupees 1.12 per hour. So in this way, we have completed three most important information over here: budgeted rate per unit, budgeted rate per hour, and actual rate per hour. Let us move to the fourth and one of the important element of our calculation. Calculation of standard or budgeted hours for actual output. It is nothing more than cross multiplication of the data given to us. As per information, for the production of 1 unit of output, we are in need of 20 hours of efforts. So it's a very simple. If you want to produce 1 unit, you are in need of 20 hours of time. Actually, we have produced 380 units. So in this way, we can calculate standard time for actual output 7,600 hours. You can say it is revised standard hours or revised budgeted hours, because the budget is given for 400 units. But unfortunately, we are not able to manufacture 400 units for the given period of time, and we have produced only 380 units. So we need to change our standard time for that 380 units. So 7,600 hours. Now we have all four important informations that we need for the calculation of all variable overhead variances. Let us have all this information in single slide as a database. Budgeted rate rupees 20 per unit and rupee 1 per hour. So as and when we need to calculate based on output, we can use rupees 20. And as and when we need to calculate on the basis of time, we can apply rupee 1 per hour. Actual rate 1.12 per hour. Budgeted hours, just before a moment we have completed a calculation of budgeted hours, 7,600 hours, and actual hours as given by the examiner in the question, 7,500. Let us move to the calculation of first variance. It is variable overhead cost variance. Formula for the calculation of variable overhead cost variance: total standard variable overheads minus total actual variable overheads. We can calculate our cost variance either based on hours or based on output. But we will calculate our cost variance using both the methods, so as we can cross check our calculation whether we are on right track or not. Budgeted hours multiplied by budgeted rate minus actual hours multiplied by actual rate. BH into BR minus AH into AR. You can check over here. Budgeted rate rupee 1 per hour. Budgeted hours 7,600. Actual hours 7,500 and actual rate 1.12. Simply insert the data in formula and you will get the result. Budgeted or standard variable overheads are 7,600, while actual overheads are 8,400. Even in actual part, you can directly insert 8,400 given by the examiner in the question without any kind of calculation to save your time. 7,600 is a budgeted expenditure, while we have paid rupees 8,400 in actual. This is the matter of expenditure that we have incurred. So you can say that we have paid rupees 800 more. And when we have paid rupees 800 more, the situation is adverse. So this difference of rupees 800 is referred to as adverse variance. This calculation of cost variance is based on hours, but we have second option to calculate our variable overhead cost variance, and it is based on output. It is not compulsory to calculate cost variance using both the methods, but it is advisable. So as you can cross check whether your calculation is on a right track or not. Let us insert the formula. Actual output multiplied by budget rate minus actual variable overheads. Here it is a matter of actual output. So let us insert actual output 380 units multiplied by rupees 20 per unit. As per our calculation, we have completed budgeted rate per unit rupees 20 minus actual variable cost incurred by the company rupees 8,400 that I have discussed just before a moment, that it is not necessary to calculate. You can directly insert the figure over here. Now at this point I would like to discuss that we have completed calculation of budgeted rate per unit, and we have completed calculation of these item only and only for the calculation of cost variance based on output. We are not in need of these information anywhere else in our entire calculation. But intentionally, I have completed calculation of budgeted rate per unit in order to calculate overhead cost variance based on output, and it is advisable. Let us insert the figure. 7,600 rupees budgeted output, budgeted expenditure, and actual expenditure is rupees 8,400 given in examination question. So the difference is rupees 800 adverse. Here you can check that earlier in the first method we got the same figure 800 adverse, and here it is again same in a calculation. It means we are on right track as we have completed our calculation with the same difference or same variance in both the methods. Let us enter into second variance. It is variable overhead rate or expense variance. Formula: actual hours into bracket budgeted rate minus actual rate. I have discussed at the time of discussion of first lecture of variable overhead variance is that it is like sales price variance. Actual quantity, budgeted price minus actual price. But here we are not dealing with the quantity, here we are dealing with the human hours. So your quantity shifted to the hours and price shifted to the rate. The formula is actual hours into bracket budgeted rate minus actual rate. You can check your question. We have all the information in this table. Actual hours 7,500, budgeted rate per hour rupee 1, and actual rate 1.12. Simply insert all the figures in the formula, and the result is rupees 900 adverse. This is adverse variance. Why? We have decided to pay rupee 1 per hour, but we have paid rupees 1.12. Here we have paid 0.12 in addition to the rate decided by us. So when we are paying additional amount, it increases our cost, and when the cost is increased, profit is decreased. So this variance is defined as adverse variance. After calculation of rate or expense variance, let us move to third and last variance. It is variable overhead efficiency variance. Formula: budgeted rate into bracket budgeted hours minus actual hours. If you think of sales volume variance or labor efficiency variance, formula remains same. Simply we need to modify the formula as per the requirement. What was the formula of sales quantity variance? Budgeted price into bracket budgeted quantity minus actual quantity. Simply replace the quantity with hours and price with the rate, you will find the formula. So it's a very easy for you to remember the formula with some techniques. Insert the values in the formula from here. We have all the information. Budgeted rate rupee 1 per hour, budgeted hours 7,600 and actual hours 7,500. Let us move to the calculation. Budgeted rate rupee 1, budgeted hours as per our calculation 7,600 and actual hours 7,500. So we can say that we have allotted 7,600 hours to complete the work, but we have actually taken 7,500 hours in order to complete the assigned work. So we have taken less hours. When we have taken less hours, it means the rate of our efficiency is higher, and higher efficiency always affects to the profitability in positive way. So the difference is rupees 100 favorable. Like earlier variances, we can adjust everything with this verification. Variable overhead cost variance rupees 800 adverse. Variable overhead rate variance 900 adverse, and variable overhead efficiency variance 100 favorable. 900 adverse, 100 favorable. So the net result is rupees 800 adverse. I hope everybody is clear with the solution of this problem. Thank you. Keep watching next sessions. God bless you. Keep learning. Keep growing.